Dunia menje kole ya zulemu molu balunya kole ya dai fama di balafa amali mirabang dunia kole ya bedula beledo fisata nyodi menna kole do ya.
Director of CPCU, Central Project Coordinating Unit, Ministry of Agriculture, the project directors, the director generals, officials attending virtual, chairman of the thematic working group, the regional directors of Ministry of Agriculture, my own creator under my boss, Mr. Musa Mbenga, our able consultant, Dr. Amadou Sow, participants attending virtual, delegates, media, good morning to you all. Excellencies, distinguished participants, virtually and physically, I welcome you all to Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara Conference Center on the occasion of the adoption of the National Pathway for Food System Transformative in the Gambia. Distinguished Advisory Committee members, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to adopt a document that is very inclusive, participatory, consultative, concerted, and reach many actors that have a business in food, including those whose voices are seldomly heard. The National Food System Summit Dialogue was launched on May 19, 2021. This was followed by regional dialogues in the 5 administrative regions, the Carnegie Municipality Council and the Banjul City Council. 4 national thematic area dialogues and the 1 independent farmer association dialogue were also conducted. The outcomes of the dialogues gave birth to the National Pathway for the Transformation of the Food System that was validated on the 23rd July 2021. The National Pathway consists of several milestones which contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. The key milestones are: 1. Increase access to land, financing, and other productive resources for women and youths. 2. Increase the efficacy and the effectiveness of the health delivery system. 3. Exploit sustainably the country's natural resources base. 4. Double food production. 5. Coordinate a harmonized policy environment that affects food system. 6. Increase private sector investment in the food systems. And 7. Respect regional and international fiscal obligations by government of the Gambia. A feedback from summarizing the outcomes of the dialogue has been completed and shared with the food system organizing team. The African Common Position paper has been developed and shared with the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD. I presented the National Pathway at the pre-summit for United Nations Food System Dialogue Summit in Rome, Italy on the 27th July 2021. A synthesized team is currently putting together the pathways of all member states for the summit in September of this year. I wish to encourage everyone to continue on with the dialogues and consultation so that we get a very good document that would guide us in the drive towards leveraging the power of the food systems in the attainment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Advisory Committee, members, ladies and gentlemen, we could not have arrived at this stage without the support, collaboration, and encouragement of many and varied institutions, organizations, and agencies through the process. I therefore wish to thank profoundly His Excellency President Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, for the trust in nominating the Minister of Agriculture as the coordinating ministry and my humble self as a convener of the Gambia Food System Summit Dialogues. My gratitude to the RCO, WFP, FAO, UNDP, NEPAD for the financial and the technical support, to the Office of the President, the Creator, the Steering Committee, the Advisory Committee, the thematic working group members, staff of the Ministry of Agriculture, the regional directors, crops and the livestock, and everyone who, in one way or the other, contributed to the success of these dialogues and the development of the pathway. Thank you very much. With this remark, I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
I'm the Nutrition Officer and Food System Officer at FAO, representing today the FAO representative and reading also the speech on behalf of the Resident Coordinator, Ms. Serafine Wakana. The Honorable Secretary General and Head of Office of the Civil Service, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Permanent Secretaries, CEOs, Director Generals, Deputy Director Generals and Directors, President and members of civil society organizations, representative of NGOs, the Advisory Committee members, the Curator, members of the Steering Committee, chairpersons, and members of the 4 technical working groups, UNCT colleagues, major personnel, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observers, good morning. It is a great honor and pleasure to join you here today on behalf of the United Nations Resident Coordinator to the Gambia, Ms. Serafine Wakana, to adopt the pathways of the National Food System Summit Dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to take this opportunity to welcome back the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Madam Ami Faburi, and a Deputy PS after attending the pre-summit of the UN Food System Summit, held in Rome from the 26th to the 28th July 2021. Welcome back, Honorable Minister. We are grateful that you represented the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, the Strategic National Pathway document that we wish to review and adopt this morning is a milestone in preparation for the 2021 Global Unit Food System Summit to be held in September 2021 in New York. In this Strategic National Pathway document, the government of the Gambia highlights specific and deliberate policy decisions to sustainably develop the national food systems of the Gambia. The pathway document is comprehensive and contains an in-depth review of analysis of issues surrounding food production, water, climate change, environment, health, nutrition, trade and economies, humanitarian aid and livelihoods. Most importantly, it ensures Building Back Better, noting the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on leaves no one behind in addressing the objective of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The pathway document also highlights the importance of addressing women and youth participation in the development of national food systems. The UN country team is pleased with the outcome of the National Food System Dialogue and wishes to thank honorable ministers for their leadership. The contribution of all stakeholders, members of advisory committee, the steering committee, technical working groups, and all actors made this endeavor a success. We have the privilege to congratulate the government of the Gambia for undertaking national and regional dialogues to address the food systems. Among key issues are the importance of sharing experiences and reflections, building of knowledge, and identifying priorities for action within the context of current national realities, including the COVID-19 situation. Together, we serve out to improve and transform systems to ensure long-term visions for sustainable food system. The UN system in the Gambia, through its UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, formerly known as the UN Development Assistance Framework, UNDAF, will continue to support the government of the Gambia and will align its priorities to the government's priorities, the pathways of the National Food System Summit Dialogue, the SDG, and the African Union Agenda 2063. Honorable Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us continue working together to build and support food system, create jobs, prioritize value addition, and improve food production, food handling, as well as marketing, whilst helping the Gambia achieve its vision through revitalization and transformation of the national economy for the well-being of each and every Gambian. Thank you for your attention.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Ministers of Trade and Women's Affairs who should have been here, representative of the UN Resident Coordinator, UN agency representatives, permanent secretaries, CEOs, directors, civil society organizations, private sector representatives, members of the advisory committee, steering committee, and also the technical working group. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, let me welcome participants to this important adoption ceremony of the National Pathway for Food Systems Transformation Report that is taking place under the auspices of the UN Food Systems Summit Dialogues. We understand that the Food Systems Summit will be part of the decade of action to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, by 2030, especially SDG 2, which entails ending poverty, ending hunger by 2030 by reducing malnutrition and doubling agricultural production. A snapshot of achievements registered under the SDGs tells us that many of the 17 SDGs will remain unattainable if nothing is done to change or influence positive outcomes by the end of the next decade. The changes will have to take into account how we produce, process, and transport, and sustainably consume food. Ultimately, the Food Systems Summit must be seen as, and I quote UNICEF here, a turning point in the world's journey to achieving lasting change. For the government of the Gambia, our journey together started in March this year. Much work has been invested in preparing and holding the national and regional dialogues, preparing, presenting, and validating the Pathways document at the pre-summit meeting in Rome and getting the Gambia to where we are today, that is adopting the National Pathway document today.
Recording in progress.
While we have registered positive strides in preparing and presenting the National Pathway for Food Systems Transformation Report to the pre-summit meeting in Rome, and as we stand to adopt the document today, we should continue to build on the gains now against the holding of the Food Systems Summit and beyond. The advisory committee that coordinates and provides oversight functions should deploy concerted efforts to resolve budgetary, operational, and coordinating constraints. These efforts should facilitate the work of the various ministries, UN agencies, and stakeholders across the food value chain to maximize the potentials and the opportunities in the Gambian food systems. We must continue to address the systemic challenges locally and globally by ensuring that our food systems are redesigned to be more productive, more inclusive of the poor, women, youth, and the disabled, environmentally sustainable and resilient, and deliver healthy, nutritious diets to all. If we must achieve the SDGs, we must sustainably integrate our actions locally, nationally, and globally. Ladies and gentlemen, in seeking to resolve the various impediments, we must not lose sight of the negative impact and the increased poverty brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Admittedly, the last 2 years have been challenging for all sectors of the economy. But we must redouble efforts to ensure that the Gambia becomes food self-sufficient and can provide access to safe and nutritious food for all. We must do these actions with effective private sector participation and in an environment-friendly manner. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by congratulating the Minister of Agriculture and her team, the curator, the consultants, and all other stakeholders for the sterling work invested in this exercise. I want to thank the UNRC and all our partners for their invaluable support and the contribution to developing our National Food Systems Pathway document. We hail the special attention given to critical issues, such as creating the shift to sustainable consumption patterns, boosting nature-positive production, and resilience building. But more importantly, improving the general living standards of every Gambian. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to wish you all a successful ceremony, and I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you all for coming and participating today and since the beginning. I am grateful and appreciative of the collaboration and support of RCO, WFP, FAO, UNDP, NEPAD, the Office of the President, the Advisory Committee, the CRIOTO, the Steering Committee, the thematic working groups members, staff of the Ministry of Agriculture, the regional directors, crops and livestock, and everyone who, in one way or the other, contributed to the success of these dialogues and the development of the pathway. Thank you very much. Finally, I sincerely once again thank His Excellency President Adama Barrow of the Republic of the Gambia for the trust in nominating the Minister of Agriculture as the coordinating ministry and my humble self as the convener of the Gambia Food Systems Summit Dialogues. With these few remarks, I have the honor to declare the pathway to the transformation of the Gambia food systems adopted as amended. I thank you all.
lonna